Okay. So, yeah, it is September, which means it's time to start planning for Christmas, right?
Yes. Instead of last year when we waited and lost all the good caterers. So yeah, I think this is great that we're starting now.
Well, I don't know. Did anyone? I mean, so I mean, so it just
Where's your party spirit?
yeah. I know. Hang on. Hi, Stephanie. Just
No.
we are recording. I hope that's okay.
Yes, that is
Okay.
fine.
Yes.
No, we just started, and I was saying that it's September, so of course that means we have to plan for Christmas because that's how the world is.
I know. I'm not ready to hear Mariah Carey.
I'm not ready to hear Mariah Carey. I haven't even picked out my Halloween costume yet.
I mean,
But
yeah, it's already there, but
I think we should have a party every month. So
every month, every holiday.
I mean, you
Yeah.
are the office manager, so that's up to you. I'm here as a branding specialist, so I can just tell you whether it would be great for your brand.
It'll be good for recruiting. It'll be good employer branding. It just we find a reason to have holiday parties, but bad for budget. So we need I want to get a jump on it. Although it does feel like it's too early to be doing this. I do want to get a jump on it. So what do we want to do? Do we want to do an on-site? Do we want to get a venue? We got to figure
Yule board.
15 to 20 people. What?
Do we want to do a Yule board, traditional
Christmas,
Yule board, or something
the
totally?
buffet, the Christmas buffet.
Yeah,
I was gonna
with the
say-
Swedish culture.
Right, but I feel like the biggest question that we should answer first is what budget do you have?
Oh,
Because that really changes everything.
Yeah. I don't know. What's a
Do you
good
know
budget
what
for a
type of
Christmas
budget
party?
we have?
What?
I mean,
are we
normally,
okay with what we did last year?
I don't remember. So, what do you think? Let's say we want to spend. What can we do for 4,000 euros? Probably a lot.
we can. How many people is it?
15.
Okay, so 4,000 divided by 15, that's gonna, and let me work out that per head, right? Because that's normally
Yeah.
what venues will always want to know. That's 266 per head.
Yeah. I mean, that would be tricky, honestly, to get a good Yule board if we went to a place and included drinks, for instance.
Yeah.
But if we start now, and that really is what we want to do in our restriction,
Look
I
for
can
more
start
money. And
working on
we could also do it on site and bring food in.
What has
Yeah.
worked well before?
Well, I have to admit, there was that crazy year where we had everyone share their cultural traditions from their countries. And I mean, it was very low budget. And then we had that competition where people brought like a potluck, brought different dishes from their home culture. And then we had the competition. I thought it was awesome. But I know there was some grumbling that it just was too complicated. So...
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people who are commuting, you're bringing a covered dish on the
on your
subway.
bicycle.
Yeah, it can be difficult, but
It also sucks to be from it's great to be from some countries that are known for their great food. Sucks to be if you're from the UK where no one wants to touch your food anyway.
And more dried fruit. Come on. I love all those.
There's a lot of dried fruit in that food.
Well, and then there was last year where we just went to the Yule board at the hotel over by the Tech Museum. I mean, I didn't hear any complaints about that. Did you?
Oh, it was fun. No, I mean, there was it was an open bar. I mean, of course, people were happy. But I'm wondering though. And do we want to perhaps look into some sort of an event thing, like when I mean by an event, like we could do like a wine tasting.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And then
We do
I don't know
have
if we do it.
several Muslim staff who we wouldn't really want to emphasize alcohol. So we'd have to find a way to still have it be fun for everybody.
There are a lot of like alcohol-free alternatives coming out. Do you know if they would be open to trying alcohol-free wine?
I think that's a great idea.
There's a company that I've heard of that's called Oddbird that is sponsoring an event I'm going to next week, and that's their whole concept is a Swedish brand is being liberated from alcohol, and so we could have a mix. Maybe I mean,
Like Alex,
obviously not.
do you wish to be liberated from alcohol, Alex?
Sometimes,
I was
occasionally.
gonna say you could almost add into the tasting, like work out which one's alcohol free. This would obviously not be something
No.
for the members of the team, but for those that wanted to have, to drink alcohol and have that test, could be like a fun game.
Yeah, what other ideas do you have? That sounds really fun.
I mean, well, this is I'm gonna my other suggestion is gonna be a little bit laddie, but there is now an axe throwing bar in town.
Have you seen those?
I've seen them. I haven't been to any, but I've seen them, and I hear it's I hear it's good.
Yeah.
The only thing I've heard is that, well, of course, because Sweden has so many safety regulations, that you can't really just relax and have fun and chat while someone's throwing the axe. So you can't have the drinks in where it's happening, and you can't all be chatting. So I think it's really fun and creative, but I think if we want people to just be relaxed and mingling and have alcohol, maybe it would be better to put that a different time of the year.
Yeah, maybe. But there's also the other thing I was just thinking though is like, I know we want to have the mingle, and I understand all the how important that is, but at the same time, I'm wondering though, maybe it is better if we do something on site so that people can leave. Where like I don't want someone to feel like, I don't know. I'm always of two minds of these things. On the one hand, it's always super nice to go someplace and do something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes to me it feels kind of sad to stay on site, but then people always like if part of the work time counts as the party time. So it's like, okay, we're starting the party at 3:00 on a Friday, and then like the party is part of the workday and can be extended. I would mention one other thing, but it goes against what you're saying. There is that food walking tour group, and I know that they do little walking tours. So like we would all meet at a place, say in Södermalm, and then we'd go around to different restaurants. And then you're not stuck sitting next to the same person the whole time. You can talk. But then with that, it is, well, I think it might be awkward if people want to peel off for that, because it does have a set time. So maybe not. And it probably could be expensive. But I have heard some good things about people liking that it's an activity and that they're not just stuck sitting next to one person at a banquet for several hours.
What? I'm with you on that. I like that too. I like something that, so we're not, everyone's just, because we want people to talk to each other, we want mingle and everything like that. And you will speak to someone besides the person on this side of you and the person on the other side of you. And I think that
someone else is in charge of it, so that none of us are.
Yeah.
Would hand it over to someone.
Yeah. But
if you guys liked that, I could just ask them, do they have dates, and what would the cost be?
There's a lot of different food tours that are on Airbnb as well. So bringing in local experts. I think that doing some kind of food focused one is a lot more accessible, so there's not an exclusion of team members that don't drink alcohol.
And of course we can have drinks, we just won't focus on that.
Yes, exactly, but the activity isn't centered around it. I mean, staying on site can always be a good thing, for budget, but it can actually keep people still in work mode and almost like struggle to. The whole point is having fun, right? And so I think it's actually good to take people outside of the office.
I'm fine. I'm actually fine with that. It probably will end up costing a bit more money, and it is, but
Yeah. It's only once a year, right? Unless
it's only once a year, I think. Well, unless we have a party every month, like Kristen suggested. But yes,
would we be open to having it say 1 o'clock in the afternoon not on Friday? Because I bet it would cost less if we did it like say on a Monday to Thursday and had it be at like 1:32 in the afternoon. We probably could get a price cut.
I have to talk to
I don't know what do you guys think
about that, but probably.
I think that would be good because you're almost giving something to the colleagues as well, right? You're giving them an afternoon off from work. I have heard if the food idea doesn't work, I have another idea where there are some like painting activities that you can do. And I've heard of ones where they do it corporate. Although you have your own canvas, they all get put together in the end. So almost like you're doing a section of the painting, and then people can have drinks and while they're doing it.
Wow!
But it's like a collective
collage.
Yeah, and you could have two people doing the same one, or you can have one person doing it. But in the end, they're all going to form a picture together, and that would be something that you could keep in the office as well. And no one needs to be a Picasso because it's like a guided painting. It's quite easy, but it's a very fun activity to do. I've heard of companies doing that, and that's been very well received because you laugh, you do painting, you're doing something creative, but then also you're creating something together.
Fun.
That is also a really, really interesting idea, and I like the idea you get a memory, a snapshot of the moment. I think that's really, really interesting.
For introverted people too, I could see introverts and extroverts both liking that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's true. It's not it's not very loud either. So introverts or people that can get very overwhelmed by sound. It's not.
You think there'd be a meal, or would it just be painting with drinks?
You could do painting and then you could have the meal after, and you could either ask the painting thing if you order in, then can you, once you've tidied the painting away, can you eat there, or you go somewhere else for the food?
We do, or we'd go someplace else, and because I'm thinking, if the place that's doing that has a space where we could then put out a buffet, that'd be brilliant. But
like finger foods that weren't too messy.
Yeah.
And still have like trying different foods, bring it in like into that area as well. So you can actually combine the two ideas we have.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I know there's Costco now in Sweden, and back when I worked in the US, sometimes if we needed to have a budget, we would get the platters from Costco and bring them to the fun place. And I thought they were good. Do they do that here?
I can check that out. I have no problem with the Costco platters.
They have those shrimps with the cocktail sauce.
Many parties.
I think that could be a good idea,
especially for my children. When I was
sounding good.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
they have those roll-up things too. Those little roll-up sandwiches. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I was like, is everyone getting hungry now?
Sort of.
What do you think? Do you, Stephanie? Do you want to look into the painting thing?
Yep, I can.
And then, do you guys want me to look into the food tour company I know about, or do you want to scratch that? What do you think?
My only reservation about the food tour thing, and it's a very small reservation, is it is going to be December.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's that whole. Is there any such thing as bad weather, or is it just bad clothing?
No, there's bad weather.
If you're from Sweden, it's different. Not all of our staff is from Sweden. They might not want to be out in a blinding snowstorm as the holiday.
There's bad weather. No, I'm sorry. I have an excellent jacket.
I like the optimism.
No, I'm not saying there will be bad weather.
Point taken. Point taken. I'd say maybe we'll think of that for like a back after a send off before summer or a welcome back thing next year.
Are there any? I know Fotografiska has a restaurant attached to it.
Yeah, it has a really
It's a rather
nice
good one.
view.
And
I
you know,
think
like,
that would be
like a
expensive,
tour.
but we could look into it.
You do a tour, you know, like a private tour of the collection, and then
And they
food after
specialize
that.
in vegetarian food, so then everyone could eat that, presumably.
Yeah, we were talking about, you know, Muslim colleagues earlier, and I'm like, they're gonna have trouble with a Swedish buffet also.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
seriously. I mean, my husband's pescatarian, and like, there's nothing. He just eats a lot of herring. He's not that
Yeah.
excited about it.
I'm vegetarian, and if I have to have another risotto at a Christmas meal,
Both of my children,
another mushroom risotto, honestly.
both of my children are vegetarians, and it's yeah. I always make sure when they go to Christmas dinner with their mom, I always make sure they eat something before they leave the house, because
Really?
I know they're not getting anything there.
To that.
You know.
You know, I wonder if we could. I love the Fotografiska idea with the tour, and then I mean, even if it weren't a full meal, like I'd love to go there for appetizers
Yeah.
and drinks. And I wonder if we could do something. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but like pro bono. Like maybe we could do some communications. Like we could pay, but then if we don't quite meet the budget, maybe we could help them with some communications. Or is that too weird?
No, it's not weird. I can look into that, but I know they have an agency, and I know that their agency is pretty pretty happy with it. But
Okay.
God, that is an organization that does not need help with marketing. They crush it. But
Yeah.
they but maybe, you know, maybe that could
Think of
also
the
be
money
opening,
side. I'd be sad if
opening-
money kept us from doing something so fun.
maybe maybe I've opened the dialogue with them on that. So okay, so it feels
Maybe
like
I think No, I was gonna say I feel like if you're gonna speak to the powers that be with the budget, it's always great to come with something concrete. So I feel like it's better if we go and get like proposals for our different options. So we can ask Fotografiska, we can ask the painting, we can ask the food tours, and then we have these options to go to management with. That's always a lot more concrete because they'll say, "What budget do you want?" So we can also weigh up if we think something is worth a lot more, or if maybe it's just a tiny bit more on the budget, but the experience would be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe we have in our back pocket the idea of just having it here. But let's present at least those two ideas that you mentioned. Those both sounded really fun. To the Fotografiska and the painting idea.
And the food tour and everything else, and you know, I'm wondering if it doesn't necessarily even have to be Fotografiska. It could be, you know, I mean, ABBA Museum might be fun also.
That's true.
You know.
I love
ABBA.
ABBA.
It doesn't
I
have
know
to
a
be
lot of
highbrow.
people who just are traumatized by being the center of attention, although I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ambivalent on ABBA, but I know everyone loves them, and that, you know, if we're gonna look at a, you know, like a private tour of the collection and then food, I think that's a bit more festive. I know sometimes, you know, if you're going to Moderna Museum or Fotografiska, eventually, you know, sometimes they have something in there which is about the tragedy of the human condition, which is maybe something we don't want to think about at the
Oh my
Christmas
God,
party.
always.
No, let's not. At the end of the year, people get a bit melancholic as well because, you know,
Yes.
the year's over. So let's not add to the melancholy.
Yeah.
Good
So,
point.
all right. So, I'm going to actually scratch the art museum and look into Fotografiska, because I know they're also attached to a hotel, Pop House Hotel there. So I think they might also have a catering option. I don't. Yeah, I think maybe something along those lines might be more interesting.
I mean,
And
the idea just makes me smile as soon as you said it.
just
I was
smiling.
like, how
Yeah.
fun.
So
I think that seems like our number one choice. I can find a budget for the painting just so we have that as a bit of
Yeah,
benchmark
please.
as well.
that also sounds like a brilliant choice that I could definitely get behind. And then
Do we want to? I mean, do you know the cost of the Costco platters off by heart, or do we want to because that would be a good solution, right? Food versus if we're gonna self cater through Costco, if we have an estimate.
Googling that right now.
There's 15 people. Yeah, I mean,
I was
I'm
just
sure they
thinking
probably give you guidance.
some people obviously can't eat the shrimp, but as long as we have a variety. You know, the other
Yeah.
thing, I feel like we're having trouble remembering what we did. Before we meet again, I
I
could go
agree.
back and look at the last, say, 3 years of what did we do and what was the budget, just so we have, you know, what has happened.
Yeah, I'm on the
Yeah.
Costco page now. I'm not finding the platters, but
Maybe they don't do those.
man,
there.
that's a good price on olive oil. I will say that.
That's a different party, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different party. you
Come
know.
back, Alex. Don't
Yeah,
get drawn
I'm
into
back.
the Costco.
But all right, so we're gonna look at past Christmases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look at
Let's
budgets
have
and what we did. How many years back do you want me to go?
Oh, 3.
3, perfect.
Yeah. It's a totally random number that I just made up. But yeah, no, okay, yeah, and yeah, no, that gets definitely,
example.
I think it's definitely an idea that we should have like go in with solid proposals and say this we
Yeah.
can do this, we can do this. Yeah. But yeah, all right. So fun museum, private showing plus food, painting, event, food tour. Yeah. Okay. I think we have some suggestions there.
There's a lot of. Do we want to already book the next meeting?
That's a good idea.
Follow up in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, say
I
2 or
I
3
can't do it at this time in 2 weeks though, but
Okay.
I'd be open in the afternoon. What about you?
That works for me as well.
So that would be 10 October follow up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm free anytime after 1 p.m.
Okay. I'll send out an invite for that.
Perfect.
I think we can wrap this one up.
Nice. Thank
Nice.
you. I'm excited.
All right. Yeah, me too. So, and,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone. In September.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
God jul.
Well, dude.
Talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.